I'm hellorodney. Thanks for clicking on my video. Just got out of bed a while ago. Oh, that's good coffee. Oh, man. You know, I drink a lot of coffee because I have an addictive personality. And yesterday, I hadn't smoked pot in 20 years or something. I was in drug rehab and everything. I don't remember what time, maybe about a year ago, or maybe over a year ago, probably over a year ago. I was smoking pot every day, all day, and I quit. I don't remember when I quit. I think it was, I can't remember, earlier this year. But yesterday I called up my dealer. I said, "Hey man, can I come over?" He said, "Well, it's not a good time for me." I said, "Well, it's not a good time for me either. I mean, I live out of town. I'm in town right now." This is why I can't. I've got company. Okay. So it was actually a good thing that he wasn't available. So, it would have been right back in the freaking same soup, because I enjoy it for a while, then after a while it becomes a habit. You don't get the same effects. It's just a fucking bad habit. And I can't be like a normal person. Well, not necessarily normal. That's not the right word for it. But a person that can just, I know this one guy, good friend of mine. He takes like about, just a few tokes a day, and that's it. Just, that's it. You can just, just get a little buzz, and that's it. But me, no. I sit there and smoke it till the shit's gone. Kind of a vibe, I think I'm gonna have to go back to my doctor. This whole thing this fucking medication I'm on. It's okay, I mean, I feel okay. I feel I feel a little dull, maybe that's just my maybe being dull is just my natural personality. I don't know. Excuse me. So, I gotta get on some other kind of stuff. I forgot the name of that medication. It's like a Ritalin, but it's like a updated Ritalin. I forgot the name of it. I talked to my doctor about it. He says, "Well, I'm a little concerned about giving you that because it's like a narcotic. I guess it's like a real serious kind of a thing." He said you can get addicted to it and be on it the rest of your life, kind of a vibe. And I thought, fuck, So I said, "Well, yeah, it's true. We should not do that. Let's try this other stuff." So the stuff I'm taking is Wellbutrin. So I take 2 of those a day. Used to take 1, now I'm taking 2. And that's not seeming to do the trick. I just make these I mean, I don't know what to do about the whole idea of, every time I come up with these ideas, which are brilliant ideas, I have to admit myself. Of course, anytime you've been a person like me, then all you do is your mind always thinks is that you always come up with brilliant ideas. Whether they're brilliant or not, it's, to be left to interpretation. But, I mean, I'm doing this series of these little collage flags that are numbered. And I've thought about the way I want to approach different things. And one of the things that I enjoy doing are making a series of pieces things in series. I went to Albuquerque yesterday, and guess who I saw? You'll never guess. Kinky Friedman. I don't know exactly what he is. I know he ran for governor of Texas. And so I think I think he's an entertainer. I think he's a singer or something like that. Kinky Friedman. He was in a restaurant I was in yesterday. I looked at the guy and said, man, I know that guy from somewhere, you know. And then he was in the booth next to us, you know. And, you know, there were like 4 people there. And then these 2 guys come up and start talking to him like, you know, like they recognize him, and then they get their picture taken with him and stuff. I should have had my freaking camera. And that would have been a good video. But it's Kinky Friedman. That was kind of interesting. But I don't know. I don't know what I should do. I don't know what I should do. I mean, I'm getting to the point right now where I'm thinking, fuck it, I'm just going to be bunker mentality, you know. I'm 61, so I'll be 62 in a little less than a year. Not a little less, quite a bit less, but next summer. I said, well, fuck it, I'll just ride it out until next summer and then collect Social Security and then fuck it, say forget it, that's it. But I don't get that much Social Security. You know, I don't. So I mean, I always have to work. I always have to do something to bring in cash. But to get back to those pieces, I mean, I enjoy making them. And sometimes I think I should just make things like that and just start off with a number and just keep going, you know. Because I've thought about categorizing things, you know. Let's see. I thought about, you know, putting things in categories, having separate, which is really more of what I should do. Because I like categories. I like more categories. Things done in series. This is right here. What this is canvas painted with blackboard paint. But like those flags with a number. Start off with 0, 1, and then just take that series all the way up to wherever it ends over here. And it could be 4 digits. You know, just do that. And then do some other series of maybe some sort of a face. And then that would go on till it ended over here. And just continue doing different types of series. And then just numbering those series, and then just seeing what happens. And, you know, the thing about, okay, you can go to vanworth.com and look at my work there. And there's prices there, and you can buy whatever you want. It's a price plus shipping and handling. But these other pieces, these are different. because these are pieces that I would like to sell in volume. And in order to sell something in volume like this, you have to sell it at a price that people will say, okay, I'll buy that, you know. It has to be cheap. It can't be an expensive thing. It can't be, you know, it's got to be cheap. I mean, it's got to be cheap, and that's the thing that a lot of artists get hooked into, is that they don't want to sell things cheap, and I certainly don't want to sell things cheap. I don't. Because it produces in the mind of the collectors. Like when you go to vanworth.com, you can look at those pieces there, and they're cheap. I put them on there. They're not cheap. I mean, they're, you know, $600, $1,000, whatever they are. They're different prices. But relative to other works, they're very cheap. I mean, you know, I don't want to get involved in that kind of a conversation. But I would like to be able to produce something that I could sell at a really inexpensive price, so that people would buy them, and people would collect them, and people would buy them, people would collect them, people would buy them for the purpose of reselling them, all kinds of things. And that's why I like the idea of the numbers. And that's why when I was looking at this thing right here, that you have, say for example, you've got these flags from number 1 over here to like maybe 4 digits over here. I like have a time frame. A time frame for this, say a 10-year time frame. Okay, you know, 61 years old. Hopefully, I'll live to be 71. You know, but maybe it's a 10-year time frame, and the thing starts over here at this particular date. Say it starts at January 1st, 2012, and goes to December 31st of 2021, which would be 10 years. You know, through. Actually, it would start on that day and it would end on January 1st, I suppose it would be, of 2012. 2022. So I mean, like a 10-year time frame, and then these pieces could either be numbered 01 through whatever number it is for the flags, or it could be a big whole jumble of things, and the portraits or the cows or whatever it would be in here. So you'd start off with, like, say, a flag, which would be 01, and then maybe that would go to 0, maybe that would go to 45, and then maybe 46 would be a face. Now that would start to get a little confusing, because then it wouldn't be as systematic for the pieces to all have their own chronological numbering order. The chronological numbering order is a great idea, but the thing about a numbering system like this is that it would be just one continually long line of numbers. So it could get to the point where it'd be like 150,000 or 300,000, rather than 200 additions with separate numbers. So I don't know. I'm a little confused as to what I would like to do on that. Of course, they could all have a number on the front. A number on the front. Say this is number. Say this is number 427. Okay. Now this number could be on the front, and it could be 427 of these flags. But on the back, maybe the number is 2,174, which would mean it's the 2,174th piece that I've done in the complete series, and it happens to be number 427 of the flags, which may be a better way to do it. You know, matter of fact, it's a funny thing. I can make them reversible. I could put one on the front and another one on the back, and make them reversible. That would be fun. But maybe the reversible part would just be the number. I don't know what to do. I'm totally confused. I mean, this is the kind of thing that people like me. Well, I shouldn't say people like me, because I don't know if people like me go through this, which I probably doubt. I doubt it. I doubt there's a lot of people that go through this. I'm not the only one, certainly. I mean, I'm not going to be so egotistical as to think that, oh yeah, I'm the only one that thinks this way. I'm not. There's got to be somebody else out there. I just never met him. And thinking about it right now, I should have taken my camera and done a thing with Kinky Friedman. That was funny. He ran for the governor of Texas, and I should have talked to him about it. I just fuck it. I don't want to talk to this guy right now. But I should have just said, hey, Kinky, how did because I know he ran for governor, and he probably ran for governor against Rick Perry. So I should have asked him, hey, man, what do you think about Perry? You know, it would be interesting to have gotten his comment on that. He made a great video. But naturally, I didn't take my camera. I was talking to my buddies at the not the coffee shop, this other restaurant. Who gives a shit? Nobody gives a shit about that anyway. So anyway, I suppose I should go ahead and just bite the bullet, because this is something. See, this is something that I've been thinking about since in the late 70s. Literally since the late 70s. And it'd be not impossible, but very difficult to pull something off like this at that period of time, because I lived in the middle of freaking nowhere, except in a different part of the world. I lived in a place where there was it was 42 miles to the nearest interstate. The nearest interstate highway was 42 miles away. And it was a 2-lane road to get to it. So, I mean, you know, I've lived in it's really funny. I grew up in that kind of thing, and then I ended up in Los Angeles for 11 years. I was living in Long Island, New York for a while. So I lived in Phoenix for a little while. I lived in very different places. But I'm thinking that maybe I should go ahead and go talk to my doctor. I was talking to a guy that he has a friend that's been taking Ritalin for a long time, and it worked, I guess, wonders for him. So, I don't know what to do. Fuck. I guess the stuff's not that cheap either. But I think perhaps if I could get my brain situated to the point where I could actually be more focused, which this guy said that it really turned this guy around, because he was totally scattered, and then he became very focused, or more so that he could start to deal more with what he was dealing with because of this I don't know what the name of this stuff is. If anybody knows the name of that Ritalin replacement, let me know. But anyway, this is what I go through all the time. So, but I'm glad I didn't buy the pot. Hello, Rodney. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.